that was an awesome episode. I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. What are some key things that you pulled from that episode? By the way, it was my favorite.
I knew it. I knew it was your favorite. Okay, my favorite points that I think will help people are helping them to align in each other's physical needs so that their relationship can be better and stronger.
So good. So good. And a lot of other awesome topics. So we can't wait for you guys to listen. Enjoy. Now you can hit the stop button.
Live your life with your friend. Pursue big things and accomplish your dreams. Learn to love and learn to grow. The Spouse Podcast, you are in the know. SBO USA, SBO USA. What can be your true destiny? SBO USA, SBO USA.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spouse Podcast. Today, we will be talking about Jeff's favorite topic.
No, that's not true at all. It's not my favorite topic.
It's number 2?
It is. Wait, number 1? Are you going to go number 1 or number 2? I just think of that as kids. So yeah, so we are talking about SPOUSE, right? We've been going through the spouse framework and we are on to the S. And yes, you are right, my love. It is my favorite topic. I hope it's second for you.
Close number 2 for you.
Close number 2 for you. And guess what that S is? So how many did guess? I will give you no money for this. It's sex. Yeah, you win.
No money.
You win no money for this, as we have no money to give you. I'm teasing. So yes, this is all about sex and intimacy.
So, with that being said, it is not just physical intimacy. That is what everybody focuses on. Okay, not everybody.
No,
just
the majority.
Every man.
Well, and let's address that real quick. The world view of this, a lot of people think of, is that's really what it is. And as Christians and really getting into what the Bible calls for and God calls for sex is a little bit different. So there's sex and intimacy. And really, I think, and I know you're going to discuss this, is intimacy is priority, right? Intimacy is more important to do that correctly than
what I think
the
it
physical
is like, okay, you probably won't get the physical if you don't have the intimacy. Or if you're, having the physical without intimacy, that's probably more where you're talking about culturally. Today is like, whatever. Like our culture doesn't say, oh yes, really get to know them. be spiritually and emotionally intimate too. No. But we're going to talk about all 3 of those and how they work together. And yeah, and what is intimacy, Jeff? In your words.
In my words?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, actually not in your words.
The definition.
What is the definition?
The definition, yeah, in my words. Oh,
okay,
as we
have
know,
that kind of time.
My words are long. Intimacy means to fully know and be known.
Yes.
And that was like, I'm like, yeah, I already know you.
Of course I know you.
And I think you know me, so we're good. Okay, let's do this.
Check, moving on.
Moving on. And I will say that men are box checkers, and we just kind of move on from task to task. So when that gets brought up, it's like, so in women, again, are more heartfelt, and which is so amazing and awesome.
More genuine.
And more genuine. And we tend to just go like, cool, check the box. Okay, honey, ready? And especially in that act, because that's important to us. So
men are like, all right, clockwork.
Yep.
And women are like a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's dang.
Lining up.
You got to have shirts made. Like, you always come up with these little. What was the one you did? We'll get into that later. But
we don't want to get distracted.
Oh,
we'll think
so
of it
good.
Later.
You got all the little sayings.
But 3 types of intimacy. Do you know what they are, or you just know the one?
There's one that's physical.
That's my favorite. I remember my favorite one.
Physical intimacy, yes. Spiritual intimacy, And I think this one is probably for women. I feel like it's emotional intimacy.
Yes.
Would you agree with that? Would you say like emotional is probably your key driver to get to the physical side?
Well, yeah, I would say that women don't want physical without emotional, right?
Love it. So we know that. So that's the three, right? So if we're talking on those three, can we take a second just to define out what those three mean?
What do they mean to you?
So
that is hard for a man to say. Okay,
yeah,
Jeffrey,
let me give you.
What is emotional
I
intimacy
love this.
to you?
Let's go with this like a definition for
Yes.
emotional
For
intimacy.
on the man's side, on the woman's side.
Yeah. So I would say emotional intimacy. Okay. So this has been a big one for me is it's literally being able to share my emotions and how I feel, which is not easy for men sometimes.
For most men.
Most men. I'm an oddball in that case. I do tend to
Jeff
share
looks
my
out
emotions.
his emotion.
Yeah, I
He
might have a
is
little girl in me. That's weird. Why did I say that?
No.
Anyway, yeah. So emotional intimacy for me, the way I see it is like I need to be able to be open about my emotions about like sex and different things and be open to you so you know who I am and then vice versa. I want to see that from you. I want to be able to have those conversations with you about physical sex, about just the purpose of intimacy and what it means to you. And I want to be able to like have that heartfelt connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to say, like, the opposite. I'll just give you the
No, you're
summarizing.
So this is going to be really good. So that's mine. It's so long and crazy. Now,
Okay,
let's
now.
actually get the real truth about emotional intimacy. Go ahead.
Okay. Being able to say how you really feel and not worry about either being like judged or rejected for it. You know, like this is how I am actually feeling because that's right. Our emotions are our feelings. And saying to you, this is how I really feel. This is what I really think, and not having to worry about you not being a safe place because that is very important for women.
That's yeah. See, and I think that's the thing I'm getting better at understanding with you is I need to make sure that I'm your man and I provide that comfort.
So
Well, in a man's
yeah.
I know, but on a man's side, that's how we think. We do want to provide that, right? It's like the ooh, pound your chest.
And
I'm a
women are
man.
like, that's nice.
Well, okay, that might be a little overboard for women.
and they're like, I'll just go to the zoo and look at the gorillas.
Sure.
behind their chest.
Men, you just heard that and you get it. But what I'm trying to speak on there is that we need to be a strong leader and man to you, so you see that one, you're protected around us, but then also that is shown to you by listening to you and being open to you. And when you're sharing your emotions, I can actually sit there and be like, I understand. What is the one thing you said, and I probably forgot it, that you said that men always need to say?
Yeah, this is a test. What
was it?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Because that's a
It
man.
was like 2 weeks ago. Okay, I said responding with, even though it's kind of a lie sometimes because you can't really, but it's okay. This is one of those little white lies. No, I'm not promoting lying. Tell your wife, oh, I understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I
Not-
remember it. Yeah.
No. This is not a problem. You can fix this by this and this. She's not your friend anymore. Just move on.
Yeah.
And women are like, no, this is like, my feelings
I-
are hurt.
Yeah, and it's better for a man not to fix, but just go into honey, hand on the shoulder or something, or give him a hug and say, I understand that you feel this
After
way.
they're done talking.
After they're done talking.
Yeah.
Not like when it's like,
Whoa,
oh, it's
stop
taking too
telling
long.
me-
All right, let's.
I don't want to hear the rest of
The
the story. I
game's
already
on.
know.
I'm watching the game. Okay, I understand how you
Yeah.
feel this way. Move on. No, that's not what we're trying to do.
Right.
So,
So,
okay, that
big tip there.
that is emotional
Yes.
intimacy.
Okay. Spiritual.
Now you define that, and then I'll define
Okay,
it.
spiritual intimacy. Okay, how aligned are we in our relationship with God? Is it like, yeah, we're both Christians, but you go over there and if you remember to read your Bible, if you ever do read your Bible, then you're over there doing your own thing. Maybe we go to church together, maybe we don't. And it's all kind of a mystery. Like, spiritual intimacy is like, okay, we both share about our relationship with God, right? And we're both in alignment on that path of moving closer to Him.
Yeah. I would almost say 100% ditto on that. And through that, I've noticed when we pray together, that's like a big connection for me with
Yes.
you, is like just that time praying together and being, I guess it's vulnerable, just being open. That's a huge connection.
Right?
So,
Because what's more vulnerable than when you're like talking to God,
together.
right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna, I mean, you shouldn't, maybe you do, put on a front to God as if He doesn't know.
That probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
That
So
probably
you're
would be
like,
good.
you're usually very genuine and truthful when you're talking to God, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why it's a, like a deeper level of knowing someone.
Okay.
Right?
So
Agreed.
those two, I think
That one's easier to align on, right?
now the physical intimacy.
Yes. What? Whoa. Different needs there, huh?
So we're reading a devotion right now,
Yes.
which is really, really good.
It is. Actually, I was going to
Yeah,
pull up
pull
'cause
that
I
up.
forgot his
But,
name. Okay,
yeah.
well, it's on the Bible app, and it's called Sexpectations.
Yes.
So it should be easy to remember. Because
Yeah,
that's a
for
catchy
men, we're
name.
like, oh, that's
They're
so
like,
catchy.
done.
Well
I
done,
don't
man.
remember what I'm supposed to tell my wife when she has a problem, but I'll remember that.
I'll remember that. That was a good.
Okay, so this is this pastor and his wife. I don't even know. They've been married for like as long as we've been alive.
Well, yeah.
They're older couple, but they're not, like so much older. They're kind of
Currently, ladies and gentlemen,
detached.
she's just trying to find her app on her phone, the
No,
Bible app, because she has so
no.
many apps on her phone.
I have so many good apps. So many good apps, okay?
I
They're
love
just
it.
all necessary too.
Yes, totally.
Okay.
So
probably the
again, while
biggest
you were looking that up,
misalignment.
I was gonna share this, but that's like, yeah. So how do we share physical intimacy? And it's really, I feel like there's like those talks of like what is important physically to you, and what is important physically to me, and that goes all the way in from what do they call foreplay, first base, second base, all the way to having physical sex, like discussing and talking about those things and being comfortable with those things.
It has to start with communication, right?
Yes.
So
And being
if
open.
if you don't know what I want, I don't know what you want. Oh, are you happy? Oh, too bad because I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like you have to talk it out together, right?
That's super important.
Yeah. So the thing I was looking up, which helps with this alignment, it's called the Lovemaking Survey.
I like this.
Yes, and so you can go to, it's Awesome Marriage.
That's right. Yep.
.com.
Yep.
Awesome Marriage is where you can find
awesomemarriage.com, and then look up the lovemaking survey. So there you go. So physical intimacy, again, for us defined the way I see it, and I think you're seeing it the same, is being able to have those discussions of what it means, and being able to share those desires of your heart and what you really want physically and all these things in sex or just in other things, and you and me providing that to you and you providing that to me,
Right, it's
which makes
our-
that.
Yeah, it all comes in a lot of different things. It's, are your needs being met? How are you going to know if you don't communicate?
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And then in order to communicate, you have to feel safe with that person so you can see how it's all related. And then we kind of joked about when we were doing the re-engage, I guess it's a class, right, at church. We get to the physical intimacy part, and I was like, oh, this is funny because it's like there's a triangle of, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and there's only one triangle, but it's not the same for men and women, right? So I was like, okay, if you had food, sleep, and sex, in what order are they most important to a man
Yes.
versus a woman? Okay,
You go
what-
first. No, you go
Okay.
first. Ladies first.
No, I was
This
okay.
crushes my
my
heart.
number one. I know. I'm not gonna break his heart right here on the podcast. So, yeah, like most of my number one need is sleep,
And
and then number two is food, and then number three is sex. Because if I don't have the first two, and I'm like hangry and tired, like I don't want to have sex.
so I don't know if that's all women. It sounds like it's probably a majority, because I could say for men, here we go. Ready? Here's my triangle at the top: sex,
Shocker.
food, and sleep. And that is 100%. I
Right?
can like I do need sleep, but I'm good without it. Like if sex is obviously like given more often, then I'm 100% taker of sex. And then food is obviously awesome. Food is, what do they say? It's a way to a man's heart.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it is
It is
true.
true. So we
That's
kind of
true.
have that right there.
So,
That
yeah.
balances us
That's
out.
true.
We're
And
we're both foodies.
We're both, hey,
Yay.
look at us. We can get along.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
it's funny too because if you flip the triangle and you slide it together, then it's balanced.
Balanced. Yeah. That is
So-
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might not be true for everyone, but
On to the next.
Right.
What else we got here? So with that, so now we know we're talking about the three categories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual, physical, and emotional intimacy.
Yes.
Now we get into, ooh, baby. Yeah. The foundation. Sexual intimacy thrives where emotional safety exists.
So I think that
yes.
we kind of talked about that a few minutes
Yeah.
ago.
I know. I
Jeff
just thought that
bounced
was
it back. He's so
but
loving this emotional
No,
thing
but I
that he
do
wants
like
to
that.
revisit it.
No, I don't. Listen, it's not.
Jeez.
It's not like it's seriously like those are important things to remember, and it's changed my life and it's changed my sex life because I've focused on those things that are now important to you, and I think that's a struggle with men specifically. Women are very, again, like I said, they're very heartfelt, so they're immediately like servant, that kind of thing, and men are, I would say a lot of us can be very selfish and we're like, okay, this is what we get out of it. That's what I'm going to function on. And I also was not raised or the right way to understand what that means. Right. So now I've learned and I'm getting, I say better at understanding the intimacy side of that. So I just thought that was something to add.
Say too, with you saying I wasn't raised that way, I think that's a pretty typical, like the worldview of it. And okay, we have the Christian view of it should be what and what it actually is. So it's like it's almost like you have three views, right? Okay, you have the world, and when I say that, it's just like American culture, not every part of the planet, but you have American culture, and then you have like the typical how we grew up. It's the Christian hidden secret bad thing culture, and then you actually have a third one, which is okay, God's intended design and what the Bible says about it. So for both of us and most kids that we grew up with, I think it's okay, this hidden, we don't talk about it. I'm like, okay, this sounds like you're like hiding a drug addiction or something, know? And then it's supposed to be this amazing thing once you get married. Like, okay.
But you keep it quiet.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's,
okay.
and that just leads me to something, I don't want to get too far off topic, but I think that's something as Christians that we need to be excited about. We should be teaching our kids about this. We should be talking about it more, and we don't tend to do that. Now, I'm not saying like you talk about what goes on in your bedroom or whatever. That's between you two. I'm talking about sex in general and what the Bible specifically talks about sex and how important it is, right? And all that stuff. Because as young children, men and women, boys and girls, we do feel the same things. We grow up, men go through puberty and things like that, where we experience things, and we need to be explained to by our fathers or by others of what that is that they're feeling, and be ready for that. Because if you don't, and here's where I'm going at with this, it's just like alcohol or anything else. And like you said, it's like a hidden addiction kind of thing. If we as a Christian family don't address these things and talk to our children about it, they're going to experience it elsewhere.
well, guess where they're going to hear about it.
Yes. Yeah. You want the world to tell them?
You don't want them to.
Exactly. And that's the same with alcohol or anything like that too, right? If our kids see us talking about or drinking or having a good time or talking, and then we're like, you can't do that till you're 21, and we don't explain to them the reasons why that is, there's a chance that those children are going to go find it elsewhere.
So we gotta always kind of, it's communicating with each other and communicating with our kids, right?
Yes.
And part of that communication, I would say, is okay, we have expectations of each other, right? Like we come into marriage with expectation. Oh, I expect my husband will be this way. Oh, I expect my wife will be this way. It's the same when it comes down to your physical relationship. And if we have these expectations and they're not met, whose fault is that?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
We need to communicate with the other person what our
100%.
needs are. They're not just going to know that, especially when they're, a man is going to understand what a woman needs, right?
Yeah.
It's part of, learning each other
Communication.
and that deeper connection, becoming more intimate.
Yeah. Love
right?
that.
Yeah. So what can we do when our needs don't align, Jeffrey?
When our needs don't align. Well, what
You
can
get
we
mad
do?
about it and go stew.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and then you're
typically
like,
what I
"Oh,
do."
My wife's terrible. You go to all your buddies and you're like,
Yeah.
Your wife sucked too.
That's yeah, dude, seriously. And that is a world that is a worldview of that,
we laugh
right?
at it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
look at and not even the current sitcoms. But
Oh.
okay, that whole my wife's terrible, right?
Yeah.
You don't ever see oh, you guys, my wife, I don't
No.
know, made me some good food.
It's
You
funny though.
complain about what
Yeah,
you
you
don't
complain
get.
about what you don't get, and why is that happening? And that's something we learned in our re-engage study too. Is we're always seeking what we want, and that's the value of what God's teaching us, even through intimacy and sex. Is like you should be giving them what they want, and if you're doing that, if you're serving them and you're going to them and saying like, "What are your needs?" spiritually, physically, emotionally that I can do for you, and that vice versa, guess what? Everything all of a sudden works a little better and you feel a little better. But if you're not doing that, you're going to complain to your buddies and you're going to say my wife's lame or whatever, and then you're going to seek it elsewhere. And that's what men tend to do, is get addicted to other things, which is there's a reason for that, right? So that needs to be dealt with at home and in your marriage.
Okay, I just wanted to push back a little bit with
Please.
when you're like,
Push.
yeah, I'll push you right off that stool. No. So when you say you need to start meeting their needs and you need to give 100% and then everything's magically better, that's not the case, right? We've talked before about marriage isn't 50-50. It's 100% and 100%. And if you're married to a narcissist and you're giving all that you can and they're just taking, that won't work either.
Yes, it has
takes
to be.
Both.
That's why I said
sides,
both sides. Like if I'm caring for you and you're caring for me, it works. But
Exactly.
if you are in a relationship like that and you see that, then you need to seek help outside of that, because that can be extremely toxic. Where you're trying to do, and I've heard lots of other podcasts, couples podcasts, where they talked about that, and people are like, "Well, I do these things, and nothing's coming back." Well, then you need to look elsewhere for different types of counseling in that, because that is extremely toxic and
Right.
dangerous.
So, yeah, there are, what we're talking about is the more average, not, one spouse has, a mental health issue where this obviously won't work.
Correct.
Okay, so we've communicated our expectations, right? And now we know what each other needs, which is awesome. Okay, then we have this other funny thing where
I know where we're going.
men and women will give different, they call them, bids for affection.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Where a man will do something and the woman's like, yeah, okay, that's really nice that you grab my butt. That is not what I'm looking for. The man, and then the man, I don't know, does the beat on the chest thing or whatever you did. And they're like, yeah, my wife loves that. And the wife's like, yeah, no, thank you. You're supposed to, we talked about this too with a group of the ladies, did Jesus grope the church? No. Love your wife like Jesus loved the church.
Man, that's
Okay.
good. That's good.
So-
Yeah. And don't I don't think, and that's true too, don't go outside in public and be doing those things, right? That's not been it. That's
Especially if your wife tells you,
don't do it.
I do not like this.
Yeah. There's compromise with everything, but also you're right, 100%. We have to have self-control.
Right. And it
and
shows respect for the other person.
It shows
too.
respect. Correct. So
So your bids for affection should not be things that they don't want if
Well,
you're wanting affection.
Yeah, and I think again that's a thing that you talk about through
Right,
the physical intimacy side of things of hey, what are the things that I can do to have sex more with you? Seriously, it
What do you
sounds
not-
crazy.
what do
What do you not want me to do?
You want me to
Yeah,
bid and then you shut me down?
because men literally will think of simple things like, it's like literally, I don't know where we get this
Oh.
from, but it's like, hey, like I put the dishes away, and like we'll come in there and kind of like rub up against you. We're like, hey, so
And-
did you see I
yeah.
emptied the dishwasher?
And the wife's like, yeah, finally he like helped
Yeah,
us
like
something
thanks a
around
lot,
the
dude.
house.
Hey, I took out the trash.
There's
Yeah.
there's a disconnect there. That's why, like talk about that with
Mm-hmm.
each other. Say, hey, when I do the dishes, it's not because I'm trying to help you go and rest a little bit. It's 'cause
Yeah.
I have other
Yeah.
intentions.
Yeah, and but like
I'm just joking.
but with
you
that
get it.
too is like men, obviously we talked about before, is men are like we're always on. There's never gonna be a time where we're like, nope, we're
Okay,
off.
Basically, yeah, the hormones are.
Yeah. Total.
It's just like this, and it's like
Yeah.
constant.
And talk
right?
about real quick, talk about the seasons
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
That's
so
like
the-
legit. I
so
love this.
men.
That helped me get a vision of
men-
like how this works
This
with
is
women.
important. We talked about this too, right? In the communication part, where you don't have a wife, you have 4 wives throughout the month.
Oh Lord.
So, if you think you don't want to be trying to talk to your wife about hard conversations during the winter season of the month, think about what else you don't want to be doing. Just
Yeah.
yeah, so pay attention. Look for the signs, right? Oh, and then the other thing is, this is great too. As soon as you get her figured out, we'll go through like another phase of life, right? Or a stress will come up.
Yeah.
Or, I think another thing for maybe it's different for some men, some women, but stress affects in different ways.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
oh, okay. If you're stressed, I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's
Se-
go in the bedroom. I'm
Stress
like,
could be a
"Oh,
sex
I'm tired
driver
and
or
I'm-"
it could be
yeah,
a remover. Like it's not something that's
Exactly,
on
yeah.
your mind. It depends
So,
on the person, I think,
different
too. but-
phases,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Different phases happen and different people react to them the same way. So you got to constantly communicate
Yep.
so that you can try to stay on the same page.
Yes. Yes. So how do we start summing all this up? Because
Yeah.
I think that the big key thing so far, right? We already talked about the types of intimacy, and that honestly is very, very important. And I know some people are like, well, that's cheesy. I mean, obviously, intimacy doesn't matter. Sex is the most important thing. Yes, sex is when you get there. So think of intimacy as first base, second base, third base. Sex is home. So if you have physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy, and you're doing those things right, then sex is home plate. Like you're making those steps around, and if you're doing them right, and you're listening to your spouse, and you're being known and being fully known. I didn't say that right, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. If you're using the definition of intimacy, and you're following those things, guess what? It all leads to a healthier sex life. So I think that's like a very important part of this that we need to make sure people understand is those are very important. It's not just like, okay, just, have sex and it's good and God says it's
We talked
good.
about it, what we want, and that's all, and
Yeah.
whatever.
You're not going to get what you should get out of it. There's so much you can get out of
Your
it if you do it the
relationship
right
will
way.
be fully
Yep.
fulfilled.
Yes. Love
Awesome.
that.
So I guess that's the thing too, is check in with each other, right? Constant communication. Understand that their needs are different than your needs, and then we're gonna have to probably compromise on different things to align. And then also, if you feel like that, what is it, the love test?
Yeah,
or
that love test or whatever. Yeah. Doing that test is really, really important too. Like
yeah, that would
there's
help.
there's lots of key
Lovemaking
things out there.
survey.
The lovemaking
Could be
survey.
very eye-opening.
And then there's the 5 love languages. That's
Yes.
super good. There's a test on there too. It's on our couples guide. You put it on there where we have a link to that and you can go, but anybody can get that. So there's so many different little avenues to help you figure this out. But a lot of times when we get into a marriage and we're dating and we're all physically attracted and we love each other and you just can't stay away from each other. Well, listen, that dies off, but there's a reason that dies off. It's because you're not focused on the intimacy part and talking about those things. And if you stay in alignment on those things, then that will never go away. And we always try to think of it like this, like the way we dated is the way we should be till we pass away, our marriage ends. Like, we should always be in that same mode. We should always love each other the way when we first saw each other. There's a sexual attraction, there's a physical attraction, but that should never go away. And when you see couples that are like, oh, we've been married for 40 years, we don't really care about that, or we're not, there's something wrong there, because you should always care about that. That should always be important.
Okay,
it doesn't say
also-
ever in the Bible that it should end.
Right. But also there is, you know, we not generalizing everyone that after you've been married for
No, yeah.
80
I'm not trying to say like,
there could be medical
no.
things.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there could be, this is like,
I'm just talking about the intimacy and the
within-
love for each other.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that should never
absolutely.
die out. And if
Yeah.
if that candle's dying out, then you need to go reignite it, and you need to look back at what you were doing prior in your marriage, and going and refueling that, and going like, this is what we need to focus at. If you do those things, it does change.
Right. And then I would say too, outside of this, is surround yourself with friends who also value their marriage and are working on their marriage. Because if you're hanging out with the buddies that are always complaining about their wife, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And
You know.
get with a women's group of good women, biblical women, and men the same way. We have that, and we get to chat with them and talk to them, and that's so important, because you should be able to share these things. You should be able to talk like through struggles that men are having, or through what women are having and stuff like that, because sometimes we feel like we're on an island, right? Like, we're like, well, I'm the only one dealing with this. And then you talk to other men or other women, and then you realize, no, we're all on that island.
Wait,
Yeah,
you were here too? I didn't even see you over there.
Yes, yeah. So we all struggle with a lot of the same similarities. So when we discuss that, we can help each other through it
Exactly.
too. So getting around the right community of people definitely helps in those situations.
And as far as, like you said, like learning from other people, if you can find that couple that, they're happily married after, 50 years.
Ask them.
Talk to them. What did they do? Because obviously they know how to do it the right way.
That's 100% right. Yeah. So I guess in closing, like, look, we talked about the intimacy side of that. And then, like, sex is very important. And also keep it fun. Sex is fun. It's not meant to be like some closed door, quiet meeting. Like, it's a time to explore and a time to have fun. So we encourage you that. I told my buddy Joe one time, it was... Yeah. Joe, if you're listening, my friend...
They always laugh about this.
Yeah. I don't know where I even came up with this, but I was like, man, like, you're in there. Sex is supposed to be fun, brother. Swing from the rafters. Have a good time. Whatever that means to whoever's listening. I don't know where this is Jeff's mind, but you get what I'm saying. It's to have fun. It's to be engaging. It's to love each other. It's to experience things together that you're not going to experience with anybody else. That's what brings the intimacy and the closeness.
Yes.
Awesome.
And guess what we have for you on the next
Wait,
episode?
we have one more. Do we have one more and that's it?
One more. You know what it is?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
We'll tell you because...
Oh, really? All this time you keep in secrets, and then I say, don't tell. Oh, I see what it is.
Don't
Reverse
don't tell.
psychology.
Yeah. We won't tell you. I'll stick with my ear
the
guns
E.
on this. It's the E. Yeah.
I'll
So
tell you
the
that.
next one is the E. Crazy. So you guys are going to like this one because it really, it sums up the entire thing. So we started with set goals together. Then we talked about praying together. Then we talked about a big one. It was just openly communicate. That's a very important thing in marriage. The U, again, is understanding each other, right?
No, it's not. It's actually use each other's
Sorry.
strengths.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. The U is use each other's strengths. And then we just talked about the S. I'm
all right,
I'm
so-
swinging for the fences right now. The S is sex and intimacy. And then the E, like we just talked about earlier, I'm not going to say it, but just think of it like this. It sums all this stuff up. And if you're doing all these steps, that last one will really, really work well for you. So
Yes.
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So thank you all for listening. Hopefully some of this was helpful. I know some of it wasn't, but for the most part.
Listen, I think a lot is helpful, and I know there's a lot of couples out there that will engage into this and understand this, and it is a very popular topic. obviously. So we want to encourage you guys, like, listen, we're here for you. If there's anything you guys need from us, you can always hit us up on Jeff and Lexi on Instagram. We don't have a spouse podcast thing, so that's where you'll find us there. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
SPO USA, the Spouse Podcast is the place to be. Keep each other in mind.